What's going on, everyone? My name is Sherwin, and we are in the Model X studios. And I'm not commuting to work. I'm not running errands. We're not on a road trip. So where am I headed? Yes, folks, I think the gremlins are back in the Model X because we are headed to the service center. I haven't shared with you all, but our Falcon wing doors have been acting up once again, but this is not why we are headed to the service center. A couple weeks ago, I got a notification regarding something to do with my steering or whatever, my steering wheel, or I don't know. I was on my way home. It was during the time I was using Abby's car, this car, to go commute to work and back. And on the way home, I just got the notification, like an error or warning notification. And so the cool thing is, I went ahead and just set up an appointment. And when creating an appointment on the app, it actually has one of the selections of the recent notifications that the car had shown me. So that one's pretty cool. I don't know when that update occurred, but that's really handy. I think it's you know, like if you're not really familiar with stuff, the options right then and there, like which notification are you calling about or making an appointment on. So I think that's pretty cool that it's doing that. So we're headed there now, Upland Service Center. They sent me an invoice with a possible cost. They usually give us that cost because if they find that it's not warranty related, then they're gonna have to charge a diagnostic fee. Which is normal, but I'm hoping and I'm pretty sure it's warranty related. It's something to do with the steering. Now, I did a little bit of Googling on the notification, and boy, was I scared. It's kind of like looking up little symptoms. You know, late at night, you feel a little symptom, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. You get into this rabbit hole, and that's what happened when I've typed in the notification, where some people have reported that it may not be getting enough power from the battery, so it could be an issue with the battery. And I'm like, oh man. So I'm not gonna take this notification thing lightly, because who knows, man, who knows with the quality of Tesla, who knows. So I make these videos because it's part of me venting out my frustration, like not again, but also at the same time, because many people think that Teslas are a luxury vehicle, and from our experience of owning 4, it's nothing close to a luxury vehicle. I guess if you consider it by price, yeah, it's luxury. The Model X isn't you know, like a mid-price, mid-range vehicle, but we get so many issues with it. And actually, not only is it the most expensive Tesla we've ever owned, but it's actually the most problematic. And so that's why I do these videos, maybe to help with your expectations. I mean, I've been to many service appointments already. Why do I feel like I'm surprised at not again thing? I guess I don't know. But anyway, I have a couple of questions for you guys. Let's play a game and let me know how many of these questions you got right, these predictions. So the appointment is set for 1 p.m. today. And so I think that's really deep in the afternoon. And the first question is, would they be able to fix this car the same day? That's question number 1. Number 2, if they have to keep the car overnight, will they give me a loaner? Number 3, what would be number 3? Oh, number 3, would they break more things in the car? Now, these questions I'm not pulling out of thin air. These are questions based on experiences that I've had in the past with our Tesla, this car and the other Teslas that we've owned. So I've been given a loaner in the past, and the first loaner they ever gave me was a Model S Plaid, If you haven't seen that video, go check it out, but it was in horrible condition. Then they exchanged it to a 2018 Model S 75D, and actually that was a nice car. I really like that car, so I also have a video on that. Go check that out. But those are the only 2 times that they ever gave us a loaner that was a Tesla. They've given us loaners in the past that were not Tesla. This was many years ago. I think like 2020, 21, something like that, where they gave us loaners from Enterprise, but they no longer have a partnership, I believe, from Enterprise. They actually have loaners from their fleet. So some of those cars are, you know, trade-ins, maybe used cars or old demo cars. Those are the ones that they use as loaners, from what I understand. So if they have one available, you'll get a Tesla. Otherwise, they'll give you Uber credits. And like 90% of the time that I've gone to Tesla service, they've given me Uber credits. And yeah, so I'm gonna ask those 3 questions. Let me know what your answers are. Go make your predictions, and then as we go on with this video, I will give you the answers as far as the results, and let me know how many you got right. So I'm gonna guess, my guesses are from the first question, will they keep the car overnight? I'm gonna say yes. Number 2, I'm gonna say they're gonna give me Uber credits. And then number 3, will they break any other things? I hope not. I can't even give you a straight yes or no answer to that, but I hope not. And it's not to say that everyone has very bad experiences with Tesla service, but for whatever reason, whenever I bring my Model X to the service center, it's just been horrible experience. I've brought my Model Y there in the past, and I've brought my Model 3 there in the past. Actually, my Model 3 hardly even went to service because it was near perfect. But whenever I do, like those 2 cars, they seem to figure it out. Model X, man, I don't know. So if you've had great experiences in the service center, man, I'm jealous. I'm happy for you. And I hope it continues to be good for you. But every time I go to service, I do a novena, I do a rosary, because I don't know. I just don't like being disappointed for, like, not because it's, I don't want to be disappointed because we paid so much for this car. The expectations are just so high for this kind of car, for what everybody talks about. These cars, the Model S and the Model X, the flagship, right? The flagship of Tesla. Well, the service should also be flagship. Why can't it match? And maybe I just have bad luck. I don't know, but here's the thing. The Upland Service Center is the same service center who was also Rancho Cucamonga, where I take my Model Y and my Model 3, and yet the service experience is not as bad. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but it's not as bad. So why is it that whenever I bring the Model X, it's just no one seems to have an idea? I'm about to exit, and so I'll keep you posted as we go in there. Okay, so we have arrived and there's a long line of people in service. I noticed a couple of loaners based on the stickers on the windshield. I think they're loaners, so hopefully we get a loaner. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm gonna go inside and check in. Okay, so I was wrong with one of the questions. They actually had a loaner for me, and they got me a Model X 75D, but they gave it to me at 22%. So I'm gonna hang out and talk to one of the managers because I have some additional questions, and we're gonna go. A couple of things I found out about the loaner is that we can't bring it beyond a certain distance. We are planning to go to Las Vegas for a wedding in a couple of days, and unfortunately we can't bring the loaner.
They told me that there is a hidden software in there with geofence alerts. So if we go beyond it, they may start charging rental fees. The service rep also said that it may be ready in a couple of days, and that's like the day we're leaving for Vegas. So we can leave it somewhere accessible, like the driveway, so that they can drive RX to our house and then swap it, take the loaner, and bring it back while we are not at home. Otherwise, they may start charging additional fees. This is probably how they're improving loaner availability, since many customers tend to abuse it. So that is understandable. So as the rep was reading notes and logs, I sensed that this issue may be bigger than I thought. This type of issue should not be happening, let alone within the first year of ownership. So we've discussed the buyback lemon law options before. I think I've mentioned it in previous videos because I've been to the service center so many times, but I think this time I'm gonna move forward. I did move forward and requested them to send a request. So they started the request process, and they said it's gonna take a couple of weeks. So let's see what they're gonna do. So I left the service center. I needed to charge. I went to a fast supercharging station. The speeds were 250 kilowatts, but this 2017 Model X, I think it capped at 64 kilowatts in speed. So it was pretty long. I got there at about 21% or so. And to charge to 80, I think it was 80%, it was like 40 minutes. So I'm not really used to this. So and then I looked at the status of the car, and now it looks like it's gonna take 9 days for them to repair it. I'm not sure if they found other issues, and now that they have to order more parts, that they are taking that into consideration. But while I was there, they're pretty much not gonna give me the car back as they looked at the logs. So I'm like, dang man, it's really that bad. And they said it is a safety issue. But they're gonna continue to troubleshoot and diagnose it and go from there. But 9 days. So we're back at the Tesla dealership service center. It's done a little early, so I'm gonna go and check in and return the loaner and get some details on what they actually did. So the repair was done. It only took about a little over 24 hours. The next day it was already available. It threw me off because on the app it said that it was going to be done next week. And I don't know if y'all noticed, there's some changes to the app with regards to appointments and stuff. I think the interface is pretty cool. I'll put up like B-rolls or whatever. I screen recorded it on the phone so you could check it out. But I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm gonna read to you what the description of work is. Basically, it's the steering rack. I'm not a carologist, so it sounds pretty bad considering that these things should not happen within the first year of ownership. But basically, they said unable to duplicate customer concerns when test driving. Of course. Pulled and reviewed vehicle data at date and timestamp provided by customer, found that vehicle electronic power assisted steering wheel went MIA. And so when I picked up the car and I talked to the service rep, I'm like, dude, did you read the report or the invoice? It says MIA, man, like missing in action. And he's like, yeah, we got to talk to our techs. And you know, they could choose better wording on it. But I'm like, no, but just explain like what happened, you know, what did that mean? Like, did it disappear? So basically he described it as the computer has sensors, and for whatever reason it did not find the steering rack. And as a software engineer, I'm like thinking of it in that standpoint because I'm not a mechanic. So I'm like, okay, well, this is cool that the software is really tied into the hardware, that if anything goes wrong, it throws out errors. Kinda, because with some of my problems, it doesn't show up in logs. But anyway, so I'm assuming this is what happens. it detected it as missing, and hopefully there's like a fail-safe to become a traditional car where the steering rack continues to function, like it doesn't heavily rely on software. So the steering rack, I had to look this up, so and I also want to have an excuse to show this part of the shed. This is your steering wheel, and you got this long piece right here that connects to the rack that is connected to your axles, and there's the pinion right here. So whenever you turn your steering wheel, this rack moves so that it could turn the axle left or right. And so I guess this is the part that was having issues but you may have reduced power steering, you may have reduced, because the car has suspension, adaptive suspension, so if you take turns too quick, maybe it could adjust, or if it detects slippage or anything like that, it could adjust. And so with the steering rack being MIA, your software can't really do what it's supposed to do, I think. So hopefully that's how it works, where even though it's MIA, it continues to function like a regular car. That's my assumption. And so I'm gonna continue reading. So power steering assisted went MIA, checked vehicle power and ground, it passed. So when I did my Google search, people have said that it could be that the battery is not sending enough power or energy to the components, and so that's why it's giving you those issues, and it may be battery related, and so that's why I was like, dang, could it be a bad battery? But it passed. They checked the vehicle harness to steering rack, front controller and battery controller, no damages found, so everything was there. Performed circuit test to harness, and it passed. So they made sure that even though there's enough power going in there, make sure that it's consistent, like it doesn't get cut off or anything like that. And it passed. And then check vehicle CAN bus circuit. I'm not really familiar with that. Voltages reading within spec. So whatever power is being sent, it's what it's expected. It's not dropping, it's not raising, it's what it's supposed to be, so within spec. Power down vehicle and check vehicle total resistance, and it passed. Recommend replace steering rack and retest. Removed and installed steering rack. Torque all bolts to spec. So this one I had a question, and I asked them, okay, you guys removed and installed, so did you remove the existing part and then reinstalled the same part? And the service rep said, no, you have a brand new part. I guess they have a list of parts on that car, and it's a different serial number. So they removed the old part and replaced it. So good on them. Thank you for that. So we have a brand new steering rack. And then perform 4-wheel alignment. We got free alignment. Thank you, Tesla. Like $275 right there, but I'm pretty sure that is necessary because it's part of the thing that they replaced. Reset steering angle sensor. Test drove and vehicle is tracking straight without any road crown present. There is no alerts present at this time. So just talking with people, they said that this is not a normal thing that would happen within 1 year of ownership. And it's not even a year. We're still a month away. And it's just very disappointing that this had to happen. Hopefully this is another reason for them to approve the buyback. But yeah, I'm pretty bummed, pretty disappointed, pretty sad, because we do love the car. That car, like, it's grown onto us. And so but at the same time, I can't continue to spend time going back into service. Now, recording this part of the video, it's the following day. We're headed to Vegas, and I went to go supercharge and start getting ready with things, and notice that the Falcon door is like stuck on calibration mode or whatever, so I cannot open it. So I messaged service. One of them contacted me back. He tried to walk me through doing the calibration, holding down the button and everything. It didn't work. And then he told me to go and try the other Falcon door, the passenger side, and it worked. So it's that Falcon door that is having issues, and now he wants me to go back to the service center to see if they could plug a computer in and force the calibration so that we could use it. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, because I don't know if we have time, but maybe we'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna try to fit into the schedule. It's probably not gonna be part of this video. I'm trying to do this part of the video fast because I still have to get ready. And this part of the video wasn't anticipated because I thought we were gonna go get the car next week, not yesterday. But I wanted to close out this video and let you know what the results were. So steering rack, still in the process of the buyback. I'm gonna have more videos on that. Hopefully it goes into our favor. Not only that they approve the buyback, but give us the bulk of our money. It would be great if we got all the money back. It would be okay if we lose a couple of thousand, but it's just been a hassle. But if you're gonna ask me if I'm gonna buy another Model X, absolutely, absolutely. And I have another video just to talk more about that. Yes, I'm crazy. Maybe you may think I'm crazy, but there's just no other options out there that fit our needs, that fit our expectations, good and bad. And we're not going back to gas. We are not going back to gas. So owning the Model X, keeping it electric, I guess this is the cost of ownership. Again, shout out to those who don't have issues with their Model X, with their Tesla. Good for you, like happy for you. But at the same time, I guess I'm able to create content and share with you all these experiences. And if you're planning to buy, set your expectations, set your expectations correctly. But yeah, so I got a lot of stuff I need to do before we go. I gotta pack, we still gotta run some errands. The supercharging that I did this morning, we're probably gonna use up already, so I may or may not have to supercharge before we leave again. But if we do go to the dealership and get that straightened out, I may make that as part of the Vegas video that I'll post in the future about this trip. And so, yeah, lots of stuff. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Wish me luck. Care packages for people if I win the jackpot. But yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.